The morning light filtered through the high windows of Santa Maria Maggiore, casting long golden beams across the mosaic floors, where candle flames flickered and wax pooled like silent tears on the marble. The tomb of Pope Francis, marked only with the word Franciscus, rested in reverent silence. Though it had been just 9 days since his passing, the world already felt different in his absence. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle walked slowly through the nave, no entourage, no procession, only the soft echo of footsteps across centuries of devotion. The memory of the funeral, held 4 days earlier, still lingered, the sea of mourners, the hymns sung through tears, the simple wooden coffin, just as Francis had wished. But now, what pressed upon the cardinal's heart wasn't the ceremony, it was the emptiness left behind. As he neared the tomb, he stopped abruptly. At first, he thought it was a shadow curled against the stone, but then it moved, a sigh, a twitch of ears. A dog. Not just any dog, Tiberius. Old, weathered, unmistakable. The Pope's silent companion, never captured in photographs, never mentioned in press releases, but always there, in the gardens, the corridors, the quiet. Tagle knelt slowly, trembling, reaching out. Tiberius didn't flinch. He only opened tired, glassy eyes and looked into his. In that look was everything: grief, loyalty, waiting, and a love that had outlived its master. The cardinal choked back tears. "You stayed," he whispered. His hand, so often raised in blessing or comfort, now hovered, hesitant, reverent. This wasn't just a dog. This was the final living heartbeat of the Pope he loved. Tiberius blinked, then gently leaned into his palm, and the gesture undid the cardinal. Tears came, unashamed, steady, as memories flooded him. Francis laughing softly in garden corners, his hand resting on the dog's back after long days of prayer and diplomacy. Tiberius didn't move. He pressed against the cardinal's side, offering a quiet consolation no human had managed in these hollow days. "He loved you like family," Tagle murmured. "Because you asked for nothing. You were just there. And you stayed." Tiberius sighed, and in that moment, the cardinal was no longer a prince of the church, he was a grieving friend. Slowly, the dog stood. His limbs moved with effort, yet with purpose. He circled the tomb once, twice, 3 times, not pacing, not confused, marking. Then he placed a single paw on the stone, as he had days ago when pilgrims first spotted him. Holding it there, as though trying to feel the warmth he once curled against. Then he lay down, his chest to the stone, tail curled beside him. But only for a moment. What came next stunned them all. Tiberius lifted his paw and began nudging gently at the grave's base. Not digging, not scratching, but brushing the stone in slow arcs. A ritual, Cardinal Tagle realized. A memory. Before the Pope would lie down to rest, Tiberius used to circle him in the gardens like a sentinel, then nudge him gently and curl at his feet. This wasn't grief, it was love replayed by muscle and instinct, because the heart remembered. Pilgrims had gathered now. No one spoke. They watched in awe as this dog, who knew no scripture, offered the most profound act of remembrance ever witnessed. And as Tiberius lay once more against the grave, a monk whispered, "He is finishing the vigil." Word spread quickly. By midday, the basilica swelled, not with noise, but reverence. People came not just to see the tomb, but to witness what many were calling the most human sermon never spoken. A little girl clutched her plush dog and whispered, "That's the Pope's best friend." Seminarians stood still, not studying scripture, but watching love unfold in breath, in fur, in silence. Tiberius didn't move. Not when dozens came. Not when hundreds gathered. He remained, body pressed to the cold stone, as if trying to warm it. As if believing, against all reason, that his friend was merely asleep and would wake soon. Cardinal Tagle stayed too, silent, because there was nothing to say. This was not performance. This was grief untouched by ceremony. This was love that never learned how to leave. To let go, one pilgrim, kneeling with tears streaking down her face, whispered, "He doesn't know he's gone, or maybe he does and just refuses to leave him alone." And in that moment, everyone in the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore understood what they were truly witnessing. Not just mourning, not just memory, but the physical form of eternal love. No organ played, no choir sang, yet the entire church was alive with the soft sound of tears falling onto stone, pews, and hands tightly folded in prayer. Tiberius had not moved for hours. His stillness had become a monument, more sacred than marble, to a love that would not leave. A priest known for his stoic composure knelt near a back pillar, weeping not from despair but from revelation, for in that silent vigil he saw faith, raw, wordless, embodied in a tired old dog who refused to abandon the one who had loved him. A cardinal removed his hat. An atheist tourist wiped his face without knowing why. A homeless man shared his sandwich with those outside because he had heard that a dog was teaching the church what it meant to stay. And in the front row, still kneeling, Cardinal Tagle whispered again and again, "You stayed. Even when the world moved on, you stayed." Then, one by one, row by row, the entire basilica began to kneel, not to the tomb, not to the stone, but to the love beside it. A pilgrim leaned in and said aloud, "That's not just his dog, that's his last sermon." As dusk settled over Rome, the final light cast a golden halo over the stone marked simply Franciscus. Tiberius still lay beside the grave, his breathing steady, eyes half closed, not from weakness, but from peace. Cardinal Tagle remained at his side, his hand gently resting on the dog's back. For a long while, neither of them moved. Pilgrims continued to gather, drawn not by ritual, but by the holy presence of love that refused to leave. A young seminarian in the second pew whispered, "He's still waiting, not because he's lost, but because he remembers." At that moment, Tiberius lifted his head, not much, just enough to gaze once more at the stone before turning to look at Cardinal Tagle. Their eyes met, and the cardinal smiled through tears and whispered, "You've already given the world his final blessing." Slowly, Tiberius stood, wobbly, slow, and walked a soft circle around the grave, paws soundless on the marble. Then he lay down again, not in collapse, not in grief, but to stay. He would not leave. Not tonight. Not until the silence had become full again. Not until his presence had told every passing soul, "He may be gone, but I am still here, and his love is too." That evening, as the candles burned low, Cardinal Tagle rose and faced the hushed crowd. His voice breaking, he spoke, "Tiber has taught us what no theology can, that love, when it is real, is not loud, it is not proud, it is presence. It stays." And Tiberius did not die, for his mission was not yet done. He had more to give, a living reminder that love never truly leaves. It simply waits, by the door of the soul, until we return. Because love, when it is true, can even cross the barrier of death.